Recording live from the Northeast Georgia Business RadioX studio, this is Northeast Georgia Business Radio. Welcome, folks. Hey, I'm your host, Tom Sheldon. We are back for another edition of Northeast Georgia Business Radio. We're recording live from the beautiful Empower College and Career Center of Jackson County. A big shout out to my buddy Mike Salmon. He's in the back running the board. Mike's waving. Of course, we cut his mic off. That's what we do. I have with me an amazing guest today, Charmaine Augustin. Charmaine, did I say Augustin right?
You absolutely did.
You are with Ameris Bank.
Yes.
And having talked with you a few times, you are a whirlwind of positive energy.
I appreciate you saying that because it's that wind that brought me here to your studio today. So I appreciate you having me.
That was a good wind.
I know, right? Segway's my thing.
Perfect. Charmaine, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm great. I just had lunch, so I'm ready to go. What you got?
If I have lunch, I take a nap.
To be honest with you, I actually started yawning getting here, but
really?
after coming in the studio, I'm like, these guys are live wires.
Wow, that's a lot of credit, Mike. He's really shaking his head yes on that one. Wow, that's why we cut his mic off.
I know, right?
The studio looks nice. Can I say that?
It looks beautiful. I am actually very impressed. I must say you guys have done a fantastic job. I love the fact that I was walking in and I felt like I was immediately in Jamaica. I mean, it's nice and cool. There's a big tree out front. The lawn looks great, manicure. I felt like I just wanted to be in a hammock with a coconut.
Well, now, almost anywhere in a hammock is a good thing, but we can take no credit for the grounds and the beautiful surroundings. That is all Empower Center. They do such a great job here. We're very fortunate to be here.
Nice. The studio is wonderful. It's a great setup, so thanks for having me.
Thank you. I want to know a little bit about the woman. I said earlier, the woman behind the suit, the superwoman suit. I want to hear a little bit about Charmaine. How did you end up in Jackson County in this area?
How did I get over to here is one thing.
You mentioned Jamaica just a second ago.
I did mention Jamaica, and I will say that we always talk about where we work and live and any people that we meet within that vicinity. So it was actually great meeting up with you. And to be honest with you, that's how I ended up here. So by proximity, I live over in another county. Okay. And by work, I'm over into this area. So just having met you through our networking and just figured that this would be so awesome being on your show and just letting folks know a little bit about myself.
What was the journey, though, to get to this side of town? And I don't mean that literally. Now, you didn't you weren't born in Georgia. We know that.
No.
And you spent some time somewhere else. So it's been a big circle.
It has been. So let's get into that nitty gritty. So
a little bit. We got to know. I brought it up.
We got to know. All right. I'll tell you. As much as I alluded to Jamaica, I didn't want it to be like the thing because I could go on a tangent between the food and the culture, and that's another show.
That would be a good show.
That would be a great show, though, especially if we talk about food and everything. So, but I'm born in Jamaica. I am Jamaican by birth and descent. I moved to Boston back in 1988. Can't believe it's been that many years. And so I got my first start in banking in about 6 months after I moved there. So I started working at Cambridge Savings Bank in Harvard Square. And that was my first job in banking. And to be honest with you, it's been a career that spanned over 30 years. And I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to be able to have some roots in the industry, right? And that has taken me from Jamaica to Boston. And since 2004, Georgia has been home, which I absolutely love.
Almost 20 years.
Yes.
It goes quick, doesn't it?
It goes, oh my gosh, it goes so fast.
I didn't have to say that, did I?
You didn't have to.
I'm sorry.
Because just yesterday, my youngest and last son, who was the only one born in Georgia, 17 and a half, we just paid his dorm fee for Pace University, New York. So I'm officially an empty nester in the next few weeks. And I don't know where the time went.
Wow, after paying that tuition, you probably poor at least for a little while.
At least for a little while.
Bless you for that.
I know, but I'm excited because he got most of it covered by a scholarship.
Thank goodness.
So, yes.
Thank goodness.
Out of state is no joke.
So now you're with Ameris Bank.
I am,
and
yes.
That's down in Houston, down
in
Highway
Houston.
211?
Yes, you got that right. Okay. Right on Highway 211, Houston, Ameris Bank. I would say kind of like opposite end of Chateauillon.
It is.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. Now, you've been with them a few years, though.
Yeah, so just over a year. I was with another bank prior.
I got you.
Here, but I've been with Ameris. Actually, my anniversary was 2/22.
I
So
hear
I've been
you.
there. So it's exciting being on this side of town because I actually am just 7 miles up the street from where I live
Nice.
for work. So
That's
it's a
really
nice
nice.
commute.
That's really
and
nice.
it just literally fell in my lap. And I haven't been more in love with a company that I am now. But then again, I say that of all the banks that I've been with, because I think it's such an institution and it cross-pollinates so very well. So I really love the relationships that I built along the way. But Ameris Bank, absolutely, hands down, I'm really enjoying the journey there so far.
Nice. What is your role within Ameris?
Well, at the bank, I am vice president is my title. I'm the branch manager there.
Awesome.
And I wear that very, very proudly because I get to really spend quality time with my clients. And when I go out to network, which is one of my favorite things, I get to meet people like you, and just kind of like pulling it all together in the community. What is your business doing? What are you bringing to the table? How are you helping the community? And how can the community help you? So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And of course, we all know what a manager's role is. I always say we manage processes and lead people.
Sure.
And so my 30-year career as a leader, I have kept that at the forefront. Is you manage processes and you lead people. You motivate them. You help them to be the best that they can be. And I have the same passion with my clients. What direction am I leading my clients in to help them to make the best choices for themselves?
I got you. You lead by example.
Absolutely, and that's what I would.
And it's a positive one.
It's a positive one.
Yeah, that's very important.
It's so positive that I come into the branch every day with a song. You know when you get up in the morning
Do
and
you really?
I do.
That is
and a
cool.
song gets stuck in your head like, I don't know, You're My Sunshine or something.
I have a song in my head all the time.
Right?
My wife usually says shut up if I'm singing it. But I'm with you on that.
And it gets stuck in my head, and then I'll come in just singing it based on a keyword or a trigger. And then my husband will always say, is there a song for that? I'm like, yes, you haven't heard it? Then I'll YouTube it. I told you there was a song. So any keyword or any trigger, there's a song. So I actually come in a positive energy, positive mindset. I come in with a song and a literal dance. Because nobody else in my branch
dance.
I dance.
Okay, let's
dance.
make a list of what you don't do.
That's very hard. But that's for another show.
I believe that's even better show than the food one, which will be good.
Oh, which will be so good. We should have like a cooking hot stove up here. And
No, they will kick us out.
I know.
Yeah, we can't. Let's not do that.
We're just gonna bring the real food and just
Just bring the food.
look at it.
We'll dispose of it properly.
Well, that's right.
Other than perhaps dealing with you, why Ameris? Why do I want to use Ameris? But hey, there's a bank on every corner.
There is
Every size.
There is.
Why do I want to deal with Ameris?
And I absolutely agree with you. Every time I'm coming to work, once I drive out the house, I will tell you I pass a Chase. I'm in Hamilton Mills, so there's a Chase Bank, a Bank of America.
Oh, they're all there.
A Synovus.
Yeah.
They're all right in that corner. The only thing that has broken it up is that new Cane's Chicken Fingers that just came into the spot that BB&T used to be in,
Right.
which merged with SunTrust
Right.
the last couple of years. So there is a bank on every corner, but I always say people bank with people. They don't bank with banks.
I so agree with that.
And
Personal relationship.
Absolutely. Personal relationship. And that's why, as business owners, and I consider myself a business person, I own a part of Ameris because Ameris has given me the autonomy to make some decisions in some areas where it concerns the well-being of our clients, right? Whether it's a fee thing or going to bat to get a better rate for them or to be competitive. That's one thing that I love is that on the level where I sit, I'm able to make some decisions that can enhance the client experience versus them waiting to say, well, this is what the flyer says. Right.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's one of the things
That's
with
huge.
us. That is absolutely huge.
It's gigantic. That is true personal relationship banking.
Absolutely. And Ameris Bank actually stands behind their value of exceptional customer service. And it's not just, hi, Mr. So-and-so, how are you? How was your day? How's the weather? What can I do for you? Are you being helped? It is getting into the nitty-gritty of saying, what are some of your needs? And being able to meet those needs where the client is at, and to say, I hear you. Have you tried this? How about this? And let me do a needs met assessment. What are your true needs? What are you telling me from telling me the story? What are your needs based on you wanting to travel, or you're concerned about FDIC, or you're rate shopping? Like, what are you really looking for?
Gotcha.
And so that's where that whole piece comes in. It's that personal touch, and then being able to advocate for the client.
Now, what'd you just say? A needs assessment? Well, you said something a little different than that.
Yes, I know.
No.
It's not bank speak.
I have known a lot of bankers, and I've never had anyone say anything like that to me before. I think it was good. I'm pretty sure it was good.
It is good.
But I'm wondering, why has no one said something like that before?
You know what?
I'm serious.
You're absolutely right. And I'm so glad that I mentioned that. I'm so glad you asked, because it's assessing the client needs, not going in with the preconceived idea that this person came in to either order checks or cash a check, or they're just here asking for rates just all willy-nilly. They just drove off the road and they just want that. What is the actual need behind that? Right. So for me, and not only as a banker, but also with my career training as well in leadership, and also professionally in just assessing needs from a psychology standpoint, is to say every person that comes to you with a problem, issue, or something that they want resolved, or an answer, they are looking for something beyond that. So the needs assessment is what is going on in your life that is driving that need.
Gotcha.
So do you want a loan for a car? Why do you want a car? Getting a little deeper. For a commute to work, you're getting a new car, you want an upgrade. How about, have you thought about? So it's kind of like breaking down that initial ask and then asking what else is going on. So it's digging deeper, and that helps to build that client relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Because while you're able to meet that need head on, then you're able to establish some other things based on the stories that they're telling you down the line that they're going to need.
You know, you may be helping them with issues that they don't even realize they have, or they may soon have.
You know what? You just summed up needs assessment in a kind of way that I've never heard it said before.
Well,
just spent 3 minutes.
I just
spent 3 minutes. Did our producer hear that? I just spent 3 minutes.
He hears everything.
Talking about this whole thing, and he just said it in like 4 words. All right, so that's what it is.
A broke clock is right twice a day, you know. Joe, that's my one. I get one more today.
There you go.
Okay, a little off the rails, folks, but hey, that's what we do here. So, business customers come in; they want to grow their companies. Mm-hmm. Are there products, ideas for them specifically? Solutions? Do you call them solutions?
Yes.
They are solutions.
They are called solutions. I call them solutions. And I've trained myself. I've been trained, and I recognize that just as we're having this conversation, lay people, we're just talking a little bit about, banking, myself, things like that. People want to know, what solution do you have to the issue that I'm having, and not you or the client having the feeling that they are going to be sold something, right? So it's one thing where clients already feel like technology has taken away a semblance of what we know as the personal human touch, right? Mm-hmm. So being able to provide solutions and change that train of thought, or just change the whole psychology behind it, clients are more apt to sit and listen to what you have to provide, and then be able to make a decision based on how this fits together for them. And you assist that process. So when they walk away with a solution, it actually is, wow, my banker tapped into exactly what I needed. And then they went above and beyond, and they found out more about what would help me, or what other solutions are there that they can provide. For instance, can I give you an example?
I love examples.
So let's say, business customer comes in, their online banking, they can't get into it, can't work, et cetera, et cetera. I could get on the phone. I could help them reset their online banking, right? Yeah. All set, Mr. Sheldon, and good to go. That's one thing. But why did the client come in? Why is that online banking unlocked? Now, let's get into your online banking. Are you looking at what I'm looking now? I see that this is going on in your account. What is that transaction? What was that transaction for? Was that a transaction you made? Let's say it's a concern about fraud or something like that. Once you start to have that conversation with a client, even from that issue, you can identify that, well, maybe the client, wow, they've got this ACH, automatic clearinghouse, coming out of their account. Why?
Gotcha.
Is there something else? Is it a loan that they have someplace else? Could we do another loan for them? Are they using a personal thing to do a business thing? Are we able to establish some kind of a business relationship? Or this is coming out from another account. Oh, so I didn't realize you had another business. Well, tell me a little bit more about that.
Makes sense.
Right? So it's about acquiring client and deepening that relationship. Because if most people are like me, and I'm just going to be honest, I bank at several banks.
Sure.
But a banker,
Guilty.
Exactly, right? Because we've got, it's the balance thing, right? If I know it's from Truist, that's my travel account because my Sky Miles attached to that,
Don't mess with that one, folks.
Don't.
No, I'm with you on that. All right, let's go down a road, and if we can't go down this road, just slap me and say we can't go down this road. But as we do this podcast, there has been upheaval in some banks across the nation. Mm-hmm. I just know in my gut that Ameris is in pretty good shape.
Yes, your gut is right.
Honestly, it usually is.
As we say in banking, follow your gut.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you're never wrong.
In business in general.
Yes.
And relationships. Even though Mike and I are still hanging out 10 years later. But
only 10? You go.
Yeah, I met him 10 years ago. He's been trying to lose me ever since.
He can't.
Yeah,
now you're doing a show together.
Darn right he can't. Regional banks, we hear these catchphrases. Regional banks, they're underwater, they're in trouble. They're what little bit I know about it, and I know nothing about it, I hear it's just simply bad management internally.
Yes.
Is that what's going on with all this? But shed some light on this if you can.
Yes. So I'm going to shed a little bit of light on it because I know it's in the news.
That's all the news is sometimes.
You know what?
At some points.
I really loved how you turned that. It's in the news. That's all the news is. That was good. That was good, Tom.
Yeah.
I liked it. But yeah, so regional banks are historically known to be in the news, right? So whether it's a bigger regional bank, the gigantic banks, the ones that are traditionally known to be swallowing up other banks, they stay in the news, right? Whether it has to do with redlining, whatever the issue is. The one thing that I can say about Ameris Bank and to our clients or anybody that may not bank at Ameris Bank but may be thinking or listening and thinking, I've never heard of them. Let me go online. Let me see which is the closest to me. I know Charmaine's branch is close to here where our show is at, right there in Houston on Highway 211, but we're a community bank.
Right.
So we don't have the same fate as the other regional banks, right? And you did mention something about management. And when you think about management, we manage processes.
Right.
So it's not always the leadership, it's how we're managing these processes. What are we watching? What are we calculating? And whether or not we're, just on our level taking risks in life, we calculate those risks, right? And we know what our risk tolerance is.
Right.
Regional banks tend to take larger, greater risk, and unfortunately, it's riskier to the clients. So I feel very strongly. I've worked with many big banks throughout the years. Well, I will say 3 because I have longevity at my companies, and this one fell in my lap. But banks that have merged, even whether it's a Bank of America or SunTrust Truist, I've gone through mergers and acquisitions, and I love the companies that I work for. And fortunately, there's only one bank that I worked for that actually got taken over by the feds, and it happened. I worked there for 13 years, and it happened to be a day I was walking out the door, got the email shutting it down, and they said if someone comes in, and I was passing the buck to my assistant manager because I was on my way out the door, but I just always last email. It was the last email, and by the time I shut the computer on, there they were. seized the vault and everything. I've never had that experience.
They were serious.
They were serious. So
Wow.
the feds are serious. But the great thing is that our clients were fine because it was not a regional bank. And also we had another bank that came in and bought it and took it over. So from my knowledge in the state of Georgia, we haven't had anything to that great effect. But even on a more intimate scale, Ameris Bank, I feel very, very safe with. And I think our clients and our customers and listeners should also feel like, check it out. There's a lot going on.
That's good to hear. That's good. I don't want to see any banks fail anywhere.
Absolutely.
Especially here in town.
Yes, absolutely
State
not.
of Georgia, for that matter.
Exactly. And we haven't had any, I think, in like several decades, if any.
It's all these Southern people. We just know what we're doing. I'm just saying.
I know, and you
That's
know
all it
what,
is. That's all it
and
is.
you know what, we keep it intimate. As
We
big
really
as
do.
the bank is, we do keep it intimate, and it really is. That's the one thing I love about community banking.
Nice.
Is, we keep it community focused. These are people that we see where we go to the supermarket,
Right.
And so it would be in our best interest to do the right thing.
Well, I got to know, how do customers get in touch with you when they are ready to discuss their financial goals? How do they
Easy
get in
to
touch
find.
with you? Other than this podcast, of course.
Yes, absolutely. So
Yeah.
other than the live radio, I'm just going to say where we're located, and I'm pretty sure that you will also reiterate that. But for those of us who are listening in the area, I'm right on 211. So it's 1907 Highway 211 in Houston, literally down the street from Chateau Elan. So that's kind of like my benchmark area. And of course, you can always contact me at the branch. Go online. I think it's one of the greatest things, amerisbank.com.
Okay.
And just kind of see the location that's closest to you.
Gotcha.
Again, it's Charmaine Augustin at amerisbank.com.
Amerisbank.com, and the link to that website will be on our Northeast Georgia Business RadioX website, of course.
Thank you.
And Charmaine.Augustin at amerisbank.com.
That
Very
is
cool.
correct.
What did we miss? Anything? Other than
Can't get it
food?
all on this
Yeah,
show.
okay. Never mind. That's a bad.
I know.
Bad, wow. Now
I-
Mike's shaking his head.
I
No.
think
wow.
what our listeners
Wow.
don't know is that we were chatting so much before.
We should have been recording that.
That would have been so cool, right?
Yes, it would have-
But
it
we
would
could
have
have
been.
another show for that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, she sings, she dances, she knows good food. She knows her banking, by the way.
Yes.
Charmaine, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. It was a sincere pleasure.
You're awesome. They're playing my music. That means I gotta wrap up.
That sounds good to me. Sounds
Ladies
like
and
I should be
gentlemen,
on the more.
Thank you so much. I'm Tom Sheldon. We'll talk with you soon.